Hey, what is going on, everybody? So, we got something a little bit different today, and I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea, but it's probably a terrible idea. But here, right in front of us, we got the Phantom Forces All Guns ranking. So, pretty much, we got every single gun in the game. Now, I looked through this, I think it's missing like one or two. I tried to add everything I saw that was missing, because this list was made in 2021, so I just added like 15 that it was out of date. I should have gotten everything. This should be everything. There's a lot. There's a lot to look at here, and it's probably going to take a little bit. So, because of how many there are, let's just get right into it. Alright, so starting off, we got the K2. K2 is a very, very solid assault rifle. It's unlocked at rank 42. It's just all-around Korean, all-arounder. It can shoot long range, shoot short range. I used to main this gun for a while. I have a couple thousand kills on it. Super solid, super consistent. It's going to land itself a solid A tier. I'm a big fan, got a nice skin for it, really pretty. The DR300 is a terrible, terrible conversion, wouldn't recommend it, but if you're into semi-automatics, maybe, just maybe. But this is a list on the base gun, not the conversions anyways. So we're just going to be discussing the base gun. If it comes with bars barrel, we're not going to talk about that, we're just talking about the base gun. Pure, raw base gun. Okay, next up we got the FAMAS F1, which is known for its high fire rate as an assault rifle. It's a French gun. It's fine, it's not bad. It used to be a lot better back in Phantom Force's heyday era, like 2021 to 2020, that kind of area. It's still solid now. You can definitely still use it. But I think it's just going to land itself at B tier. It's still an AR. ARs are usually, typically speaking, ARs are the best guns. And it's on the lower end, but it's still a solid gun that you can use. Now here we got the AK-47. The AK-47 is powerful. It's a strong gun, got a ton of kickback, and it just got a new buff, actually, in the newest update. So if you haven't seen my video, definitely check it out. But it's strong right now. It's strong. So I'm kind of torn in between putting it in S or A. I'm probably gonna say, let's put it in S. It's hard to use. I'm gonna say that right up, straight up. It's hard to use. It's very difficult. But statistic-wise, it is strong. 3-shotting capabilities. Headshots do crazy damage. It's really, really powerful. So if you can use it and you can handle the recoil, it's amazing. Plus, it's got good mobility. You can cut down all the stocks. You can cut down everything like that. It's good. It's pretty dang good. All right, next up, we got the AUG A3. AUG A3, solid, long range, close range. It's the longest range and the most consistent accuracy-wise of the three AUGs. Of the AUG platform in the game, there's also the AUG Para, AUG A2, AUG A1, you know it, AUG H-Bar, all those. But AUG A3 is probably the best of all of them. It's pretty close between that and Para and H-Bar. But AUG A3 is almost certainly the best of the ARs. So I'm going to put that at solid A tier. Oh, we got the British. The L85A2. I'm going to say I've never been a fan of this, to be honest with you. It's got crazy damage, it's got crazy range. But the kickback, the vertical recoil, the fire rate, you can make it a laser pretty much. But really, it's not that amazing. I'm going to have to say C tier just because my personal bias against it. I've used it a bunch. Not a fan at all. However, HK416... while I would say, oh, Blackout just got buffed, it's an instant S tier, we're talking about the base gun here. I love the HK416. I would love to put it in S tier, but I think it's just not good enough in base form. It's really good with fire rate. It's got really good conversions, ammo stuff. It's just an overall really strong, close range gun, but I don't think it's nearly good enough to be an S tier right now. AK-74, very solid. I'm going to say either top of A again. It's not quite an S tier gun because I'm seeing the next gun and that is an S tier gun. But I'm just going to leave AK-74 in A tier. Very solid. A lot of the best guns in the game are ARs, just so you know. So I have to realistically speaking, a lot of the S tier guns are going to be ARs or automatics. And there's just better than the AK-74 right now. Alright, AKM. AKM is a lot like the AK-47, except better overall. It's got worse bullet performance, but it's got better recoil, better handling, better fire rate. It's just all around better. It's probably the best AK in the game right now, aside from the RPK series and all the LMGs. But AR-wise, it's probably the best AK AR. Now the AK-107 conversion is definitely probably the best, like, 30-round rifle. Not Type 88 or anything like that, but probably the best 30-round rifle. But AKM base gun, probably the best so far we've seen. Definitely the best we've seen so far. AK-103, another solid gun, solid AK, very similar stats to the rest of them. However, it's just not nearly as good. It doesn't have any really standout redeeming quality. Next up, we got the TAR-21. TAR-21 has always been really, really good. I'm going to kick it up to the top of the A tier. TAR-21 has torso multiplier, has strong headshot multiplier. It's got crazy good fire rate, and it comes with a natural barrel, so you can make it the C-TAR. Really good conversion for close range. It pretty much turns into a super juice PDW. It's not, like, amazing, though. It's not an S tier. But TAR-21 is definitely super solid. If you watch my top 5 ARs, it was in there pretty high. So, but it has received a nerf since I made that video a year ago. Not a big one, but a small one, and it's just enough to put it down to A tier, I think. Next up, we got the SIG-44. Crazy damage. It's a lot like the AK-47, but it's got crazy damage. It's got slower fire rate. It's got worse recoil. It does have good handling. It's the predecessor of all the ARs we're looking at right now. It is old. It's not quite what the others are. It's got a ton of damage, bad range, bad handling, or sorry, not handling. Bad range, bad fire rate, but good damage. So it's kind of like the UMP of ARs. It's a heavy hitter, but it doesn't hit hard enough for it to be worth it. Next up, we got the AK-12. Very, very strong, solid AR. Nothing to complain about. Fast RPM, good damage, very low recoil, very good for beginners, which is why it's a rank 0 gun. It's pretty good. It's overall good. Now, the next one, I'm not a fan of. I'm just going to say that right now. I know some people will die on the cliff that, oh, if you put on a 30 mag, it's one of the best ARs in the game. It's not. The Type 88 is just an alright. It's a mediocre AR at best. And that's why I'm going to put it in B tier. Low B tier, though. I'm not a huge fan. Versus the M231, I am a big fan of. This is definitely not an S tier gun because of the whole issue with its range. It's pretty much, I believe it's the fastest RPM gun in the class. I know it's fastest in the class. I'm not sure if it's in the game. But it's got like 1,200 RPM. It shoots crazy fast, and it does good damage at that. The firing port weapon, it's known for its very, very terrible, terrible recoil. At a time, it used to be the meta in every single pro player's game. But right now, it's just not that. With the Patriot conversion, it's amazing because of the handling and everything like that. But I'm just going to say right now, base form, solid A, the middle of the A tier. C7A2, easy S tier. Don't have to think about it. With the all-around stats, the Canadians, I'm always talking about this gun. Literally always talking about this gun. It's so good. It's so slept on. Because it's a high rank, obviously. Not that many people have it unlocked, but it's so powerful. It's been one of the strongest ARs for a long time. It's going to stay up there for a while. It's really, really solid. And then we got the German box gun, the G11K2. It's just weird. The reflector scope's weird. It's strange to use. It's a 3-shot insta-burst with like 42 bullets in the mag. It's a really strange prototype style gun. It's not amazing, but its 3-burst can one-shot if you use it correctly. So if you know how to use it, power to you. You're going to be able to frag out with it. And it's unique, so it's more fun than the other ones. But in terms of how good it is, it's just a solid B tier. It's nothing amazing. It's nothing terrible. Solid B tier. AN94. My opinions on this gun have changed a lot recently. It hasn't received any nerfs, while a lot of other guns have. A lot of other guns did just get a buff, but this gun has been staying consistently up here. I'm really tempted to put it in S tier just because of the double burst. So if you use burst, so the thing with the the AN94 is when you shoot your first bullet, it shoots the second one instantaneously. So the first 2 bullets are shot at the exact same pinpoint accuracy. It can do double the damage on your first shot pretty much. If you hit that every single time, and you know how to like tap burst efficiently and save all your ammo and stuff, it can be unbelievably powerful. So because of the potential, I'm gonna put it in S tier. AS Val, heavy hitter, low ammo. You can put the extended mag on it, but we're talking about base. Low ammo, and even with the extended mag, it makes the reload painfully slow. So I'm gonna put it solid A tier. I'm thinking right in the middle. It's a solid gun. That was one of the first videos I made a build on. It's a really powerful gun, but it just it's not in the limelight right now in the state of the game. Next up, we're gonna try to streamline this a little bit more because I've been talking a little bit too much about the ARs. Okay, Scar L. It cannot 4-shot. Or sorry. It can only 4-shot. It cannot 3-shot. It's stuck at 33 damage. No torso multiplier with a mediocre fire rate. It's just not great. Its range is amazing, so that gives it something above the other guns in B tier, but it's just absolutely average damage and below average fire rate. It's not enough to compete. All right, next up, AUG A1. I'm thinking, the A1's the worst of the AUGs. The A1 is the worst because it's a low rank gun. It's just an all around meh. It's just a meh fest. The A3s specialize in range. The A2 specializes in close range. The A1's just an all-arounder to bridge the gap. And we don't really want that. We want something that stands out in one aspect, which the A1 just doesn't. M16A1, that's a Vietnam rifle. It's relatively new, but it's not great. It does crazy damage, but it's got a smaller clip, and it's got heavy kick. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's just all right. Next up, we got the M16A4, I believe that is. I can't tell, it's really small. Yeah, M16A4. Okay. So, I'm just gonna zoom in actually. That'll make it easier. So, with the M16A4, I believe this one is the burst. Yeah, it's the burst one. It's the one I got the funny sand skin on that I sometimes use on stream, and everybody's like, oh my god, what a cool skin. Yeah, I know, it's sands. It's not great. I believe it's like Neb, the content creator Neb. It's like his favorite gun. It's like his most used gun. I hate it. I hate burst. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it right now. I absolutely hate burst. Yes, it's got a strong burst. I think you can one shot with the 3 bursts if you hit them all, or like 2 in one head. But you can't really hyper burst it well. It's lacking in a lot of areas. I'm gonna put it low B tier. I'm not a fan, not at all. Same with the G36. It used to be so good back in the day. Now it's just so mediocre. Like, this is genuinely the most mediocre of mediocre guns. It has no redeeming qualities. It's got good range, but that's it. Damage, RPM, it's just the handling, The only really good things are the reload speed and the handling. Or sorry, not handling. Reload speed and range, and that's just like not even that good of a combo. You want fast reload speed on a close range gun more than anything. Next up, we got the M16A3. This thing is a monster. This thing is so good. We're gonna put it up. We're gonna put it up in S tier. M16A3. It's nuts. It's absolutely nutty. 10 out of 10 recommend it. It's one of my most used guns. I love this thing. I love that thing so much. Definitely try it out if you haven't used it already. It's a low rank 31. Try it out. Absolutely shreds if you got the right build on it. And next up we got the AUG A2. We're gonna put it right next to the AUG A3 because they're both very strong in their own aspects. They're both respectively strong. One long range, one close range. You can use either way, they're good. And I believe that is the last of the ARs. So now we are on to the wacky ones, the battle rifles. First up, we got the Beowulf ECR. Ugh, absolutely no thank you. Actually, I'm gonna put that in D. It's one of those guns, both the Beowulfs are like this. This one's the automatic one though, so I guess, the automatic one's a little bit worse in every way, but it's automatic, so you have to weigh your outcomes. It's probably worse overall than the semi-automatic. I think there's the ECR and the TCR. The automatic one is the ECR, and it is not great. The iron's terrible. The clip size, terrible. The damage is great, and the fire rate's very good, but the recoil is so detrimental. I'm gonna have to pass on that one. So we're gonna stick that one down in D tier. Next up, we got the Scar H. Scar H, solid gun. It's pretty solid for a battle rifle. Battle rifles aren't super amazing typically, unless you're a couple that we'll see in a second. But battle rifles, typically not going to be a too insane. Scar H, very solid. We're going to stick it at B. Completely average, reasonable gun to use. AK-12BR, very good gun also. I'm going to put this up at an A tier. It's one of the better battle rifles easily. So just keep that in mind. I love that. I love the AK-12BR. It's got very low recoil, very high damage with a 700 fire rate. What more could you want? It's pretty much the perfect battle rifle to start using as a low rank. I mean, you get it at 44, which is kind of high, but it's like it's an easy gun to use and an easy gun to learn. Next up, this one's amazing. This one's a great gun, the G3. I'm gonna have to put it at S tier, just because of the capabilities you can do with it. It is absolutely nuts. It's got 20 bullets, it's got pretty manageable recoil, and you can two-shot to the body. So it's kind of hard to put it anywhere but S tier with those kinds of stats. It's very solid, and I'm gonna stick it up at S tier because of that reason. G3 has always been a G3A3. It's always been on, you know, I mean, why else would you want it? I believe that's the only, yeah, there's only one G3 in this game. I wasn't sure. I had to check for a second. Sorry, excuse me. But I wasn't sure because the G3 is called the G3 or the G3A3. I think it got changed to the A3, which is why I was confused. I was like, is this different than the A3? No, I think it's the same one. But it's so good. It's been good forever, since literally like the dawn of the game. It's been really OP for a long time. Next up, AG3. Bleh. It's just meh. It's another meh gun. High damage, standard battle rifle stuff. High damage, slow fire rate with... It's a G3, but like significantly worse. Slower fire rate, more recoil, less damage, less range. I think it's got more penetration, actually. But overall worse. HK416, low-key slept on. It's actually a solid gun. I'm going to put it in B tier. It is a solid battle rifle. So if you guys don't know, it's obviously akin to the HK416. It's very strong, but it's not. It's pretty much HK416 minus all the RPM, and instead you get a ton more damage. So very good, and it's very good for range if you can control your taps and whatnot. But it's high damage. It's tough to use, as are most battle rifles, to be fair. This one's really tough to use. The Henry 4570. This thing is tough to use, but it pays off like crazy. Actually, I don't feel comfortable putting it in A. I was gonna say put it in A because of the one-shot capabilities, the crazy torso damage, but then I remember the reload, and the reload is one of the worst in the games. So I'm gonna have to stick it in B tier because the reload, it's just so annoying. It's semi-automatic, it's a lever action rifle. The reload is brutal. So I'm gonna stick it in B just because of the reload. Yes, it's terrible. Next up, FAL 50, another classic battle rifle example that everybody knows about. We're gonna stick that right up there towards the top of the A tier. FAL 50, very strong, very powerful weapon, ton of damage, similar to the G3, but it's slightly worse if I remember correctly. I think it's got worse range. It does come with the Hellbeck device by default because that's the gun it was designed for, so it's really good with the Hellbeck device, but just completely blank, I'm going to say it's just solid A tier. K1A, another A tier. I do love that gun. I really like the K1A. It's pretty much the K2, but better. So that's why I'm going to put it right in front of the K2. It's not too much better because, again, it's short range, K2's overall, long range. They're different. They're different things, but they have similar styles. 900 fire rate, crazy good. That's why it deserves A tier. So I'm going to stick it in A tier. Ooh, SR3M, not a great one. Not a great one at all. I actually think I'm gonna put that in F. It's so bad. SR3M I don't remember it ever being good at any point in my life. And I've lived a long Phantom Forces life. SR3M, it's got damage. It's got 900 fire rate. Recoil, it's just a worse AS-FAL. It's one of those Russian guns, or weird Russian guns that by default comes with a grip. Why would it do that? I don't know. But it's just strange, and I honestly hate it. I know you can make a good build with it, but it's just, the floor is so much lower with this gun, and the ceiling's there's no ceiling pretty much. Sorry, that's the exact opposite of what I want to say. The ceiling is very low with this gun, and the floor is there's no floor. You can't make it that good. I've tried. I have like a couple hundred kills on it. I've tried to make it good. I hate it. Maybe it's because of recoil pattern, maybe I just don't stick with it, but I really hate the SR3M. Next up, Groza 4 got buffed about, 4 months ago or something like that. It was so bad before I would have put it DF easy, but now it's a solid B. I think it's like middle of the pack B. It's not great, it's not bad, it's just a Groza. Crazy high recoil, but crazy good damage and fire rate. MC51SD, super slept on gun, really strong, easy A tier for me. I use this gun all the time because I have a 6 skin on it. I love it. It's really fun. And it's got 20 bullets, super powerful. I like it a lot. Here's a FAL 50 para. I'm trying to remember the difference between the two FALs. This one's kind of just, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's just worse. It's got less range. I think it doesn't even shoot faster. I don't remember. I think the damage and ranges are different, and also the handling and everything. I think they're different. Don't quote me on that one, but I believe they're different. It's a paratrooper version. So I'm actually gonna put this in B tier. I remember it being significantly worse. Forgive me if I make a mistake on this one. I'm gonna take a pass. I don't really remember the FAL para compared to the FAL. Okay, 1858 Carbine. This is a really solid gun, especially with snake shot. Crazy good sometimes. Definitely take a look at that. It's the revolver. I believe it's the new army. It's the new army, except you put a stock on it, and it's got much more range. You can use the same modifiers. You can use snake shot. You can use stuff like that. It's just not. It's just not it's not like amazing, but it is significantly better than the new army, and the new army is one of the best secondaries you can have anyways. Okay, AK-105. Like I was saying, if we were talking conversions, right now, AK-107, bars barrel, easy. Probably one of the best guns in the game. However, we're not. We're talking base gun. So I'm saying base gun is probably pretty close to high A tier. It's alright. It's nothing amazing. It's got low RPM by default. It has very low recoil and has very good mobility because it's a carbine. But it's just not amazing. Alright, next up we got the Jury. Jury is definitely one of the more lacking ones. Actually, I'm going to put it in C. Jury isn't great. It's not amazing. It's 2 shots to the body every time. It's a lot like the other two, the 1858 Carbine. I put it higher because the 1858 Carbine, you have more range. You can do more with it. The Jury is pretty cut and clear. You're kind of just stuck with, the Jury's going to be the Jury. It's just alright. The CAC SSR, on the other hand, is just a better Jury. It's faster Jury. It's still 2 shots to the body. It's faster. What's the difference between the 1858 Carbine and the CAC SSR, or SRR, is I like the 1858 Carbine more. Sue me, I love that gun, so I'm going to put it in A tier. And the CAC SSR, or SRR, oh my god, I can't say it. The CAC SRR in B tier. And that's where they're going to stay. Alright, next up we got the Gyrojet Carbine. I would have put this in D, just got a buff. It got a big buff. So now it's more usable. I'm thinking C tier still though. It's got crazy good damage. So how the Gyrojet works is you shoot it, and over range the bullet accelerates and does more damage. So it's unique. The Gyrojet Carbine and the Gyrojet Mark 1 or Mark 2 or whatever the pistol's called, they're both very unique guns and they're fun to use, but they're gonna stay here for me. I like using them for fun, but the slow fire rate and the inability to one-shot unless you're like a gazillion studs away. Well, to the head, it's still a one-shot, but body shot, it's like it's 3 body shots, I think, up close for the carbine and the pistol. So, yeah, I'm going to have to pass on that with a 200 RPM. M4A1, super solid. You can't go wrong with the M4A1. It's good in every game. It's good in this game. Amazing starter gun. Just made a video on why it's the best starter gun. It is the best starter gun, by the way. It's so good. Everyone should use it. I got a ton of kills on it. Love that gun. End of story. All right, X95R. It's just an acceptable. It's just an acceptable carbine. It's nothing amazing. It's just a standard bullpup. I don't love it. It's got a ton of RPM, but it runs out of ammo super quickly. It's got really strange rotational recoil, so it's a little bit different to get used to. It's not bad by any means. That's why we're going to put it in B. But it's definitely not like groundbreaking, oh my god, it's so good deal. All right. So, moving on, we got the HK51B, which is the aftermarket carbine variant of the HK, is what they call it in-game. Very solid. I believe it's got the whole box. I think it's got 100 bullets as a carbine. So it's actually really solid, but the issue is the recoil is absolutely abysmal. Like, okay, I just realized I'm going to put the HK somewhere else on this list, so it's only right to put it C, because the HK is literally the HK51B, but better in every way, except for mobility, obviously, but whatever. Who needs mobility when you got 100 rounds? When you got 100 rounds and it suppresses and penetrates everything on the map. So I'm going to put that at C. G36K, also going to put that. It's better than the G36. It's better than the G36. I'm going to put it in B tier. G36K got good fire rate, got strong damage. It's got less range than the G36, but it's more well-rounded. It's better to be used overall as opposed to the other gun that I was just talking about, the G36. So yeah, I'm gonna say that one's a tier above. M4, burst guns. I've tried a million times to use the M4. I absolutely cannot use it. I hate the M4. Hate it, hate it, hate it. All right, any questions? Cool, M4. Boo, boo, burst guns, boo. I believe the M4 you can hyperburst, but it's not nearly, it's like M16A4. Like that's got really good stats. It's one of the best statistically like well-rounded guns in the game. M4, it's just worse. It's just a worse version. It's a rank 14. It's like the first burst gun you get. It's not great. L22, nothing amazing. It's similar to the L85A2, except it's better because it's got more mobility, but the recoil is similarly a lot worse. It's got better mobility, fire faster rate, less damage, less range, worse recoil. So if you consider everything, I'm still going to take the L22 over it just because L85A2, people love it, I don't. I would much rather take the LMG variant over both them. It is worlds better, genuinely worlds better. But yeah. All right, M14. This is a really, really new gun compared to the rest of this list. I mean, it's all these guns are old, but the M14 is pretty new. It's got 20 rounds and it's fully automatic. It is so strong if you use it right. This is a really slept-on gun. It does crazy damage, 20 rounds, crazy high recoil is the only issue. But if you can get that down, it's so good. So I'm going to put that in A tier. That's a solid A tier if you ask me. Scar PDW, very, very solid B tier. I'm sitting in the middle of the B tier. Above the Groza. Ugh. So I'm going to say it's a solid B tier. Scar PDW's got all the stats of the Scar Hammer, except it's a PDW. It shoots faster. I don't think it has a wind-up, the heat-based fire rate, but it's got good mobility, good overall attachments, and you can do a lot with it. It's a good gun. It's not nearly as good as the Scar L. The Scars aren't like these groundbreaking guns in any world, in any game, no matter who you ask. It's great in Fortnite, but I'm going to say the two Scars belong in the same tier here. These tiers are like kind of jumbled around because I've just been throwing things in randomly and oh, this goes in the middle, oh, this goes in the front. they're close to what they should be, but they're not. So don't say, oh my god, he put the FAMAS over the SIG. Oh my god, end of the world. He thinks the FAMAS is better than the SIG. No, they're same tier. Same tier. This game's a whole bunch of preference anyways. So like I put the SR3M in F tier. I know for a fact at least a good handful of you guys watching this are like, what the hell is he doing? Put that in A tier. Put that in B tier. If anyone says S tier, they've lost their mind. But some people say it's a solid gun. I've used it a ton. I hate it. I hate it. We're gonna keep it down there. All right, AKU-12. This gun is good. This is a really, really good PDW. Carbine? It might be a carbine. I don't remember. It's one of the two. I think it's a carbine, but it's really, really good. It has high damage because it's an AK. It's got low recoil, which is kind of surprising for the 800 RPM. And it's got good mobility, so it's definitely a solid A tier. It's a good, solid A tier. Most of the guns here have ended up in A or B tier. I mean, there aren't many bad guns in this game. Like we only got 3 in D or F, so that's pretty telling. Next up, we got the Groza 1. It's worse than the Groza 4. That's for sure. It's definitely worse. The Groza 4, in my opinion, is better. It got more buffs recently. Groza 1, it's fallen behind. I'm going to stick it in C tier. Grozas were never that great, but then the Groza 4 got the buff. Groza 1 got a slight buff, I believe, but it's just not as good as the Groza 4 now. AK-12C. This is another really, really strong gun. I do love the AK-12C. I'm going to put it at the top B tier. It's strong. It's powerful. It's an all-around solid carbine. High fire rate, high damage, good mobility. You know this. You know the gist. It's solid. It's very solid. Honey Badger. Now, I'm going to get crucified for this. I really don't like the Honey Badger. I'm between B and C. I've used it so many times, and everyone's like, oh my god, I love the Honey Badger. No, you just like it because it sounds fun. Statistically speaking, it's not that good. It does good damage. The Americans, they got themselves a strange gun. It's unique. It's got an integrated suppressor. It feels smooth sometimes. Sometimes it feels horrible. The best experience I've had with the Honey Badger is when I throw on a long-range scope and throw on everything that makes my movement horrible, and it just literally sat down and sprayed from long distance. That's the most fun I've had using this gun. I do not like the Honey Badger, so I'm going to put it at the very bottom of B tier. C8A2. Easy A tier. It's like the C7A2, except it's got more mobility and less damage. And I believe, yeah, it has faster RPM too. Plus it has a 3 burst if you're into that. So yeah, it's pretty much just a knockoff C7A2. It's a Walmart brand C7A2. I don't blame you if you like it. I mean, obviously I like it. I put it in A tier, high A tier. But it's like the shadow of the C7A2. The C7A2 is always going to be better. In my opinion. I know some people love the C8A2 and are like, oh my god, it's the best gun in the game. No, it's not. All right, Mark 11. Easy D tier. Easy. It's so slow. 320 fire rate is absolutely brutal, especially when you look at the other guns in the same class. For DMRs, MK11 is not going to be your first choice ever. If it is, why? You can put on depleted uranium, which makes it slightly more acceptable, but overall it's still just like not it, okay? Cool. All right. Next up, we got the SKS. I love the SKS. We're going to toss this bad boy up in, I don't know. The SKS is really good if you can use it well. So I'm going to throw it in A tier. SKS is one of those like low rank guns that people see, they use it for the first time, they're like, ugh, I don't really like it. And then like you rank 100, you come back to it and wait, you're like, wow, this is really good. Why did I not use this? It's one of those harder guns to use, but when you can use it, when you know how to time your taps, like you can't jitter click with it because the 433 RPM, stuff like that. But when you can time your taps to perfectly synchronize it, you get the most out of the 433 RPM, and it can be so powerful. So yeah, definitely one of the better DMRs if you ask me. SL8, very similar to the SKS, however, it's just going to be a slight step below it, so I'm going to put that at the top of B tier. It's got very similar damage, very similar stats, higher fire rate, but it doesn't feel smooth. The recoil's worse. You can't get as many kills as quickly. It just doesn't feel as good as the SKS, which is a very biased thing, but I've used them both a lot. When I was making my top 5 DMRs, I think I'm pretty sure I put the SKS above the SL8. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that. But they've always been close in my mind. So bottom A, top B, pretty close. H-Car. Okay, so this is gonna be biased. So I used the H-Car a lot when it came out, and I know in the most recent update it got a buff. I know for a fact it got a buff. But when it came out and I was using it, it was my least favorite gun in the game. So I know it got a buff, and I'm gonna run, because I haven't used it since it got the buff. Like, it got the buff like 9 days ago on the 4th of July update. I haven't used it since. So I'm just gonna put it in F tier because I don't know. Now, does this mean it's the worst gun in the game, you should never use it? No. I mean, chances are most people aren't gonna use it. It's a rank 181 unlock, and that's really, really high. I haven't even unlocked that yet. I just bought it in game because, you know, Silas gives me my little credits every now and then. But it's just not, it's not ideal. And when I used it, it was honestly one of the worst guns I've ever used. Like, I'm sure they fixed it better, but I didn't see it get a huge buff or anything, so I can't imagine it'd be any higher than D tier in the first place. In addition to the fact I don't like DMRs, so yeah. That's where that ranking comes from. Next up, M21. Top of D tier. It's again, DMRs are such hit or misses. They're either great or they're horrific. And M14 and M21 are both very similar. They were both added in the same update. They're both made in similar eras. The M14 is much better, significantly better than the M21. But the M21 is still like serviceable. If you picked it up, you could get a kill with it. The irons are horrific. The fire rate is terrible. Not gonna be my pick for anything, really. Next up, we got the VSS Vintoriz? I don't know. It's Russian. The Russians did this one. Very solid. I'm gonna put that lower beats here. It's got good damage, high fire rate. It's only got 10 rounds, which can be an issue. So I recommend using it on semi-automatic, but I believe it has an automatic version as well. So if you want to use it on that, I've tried. You can get a free kill. It's literally a free kill, but then you die because the reload's slow. Empty mag reload is slow, and it's only got 10 bullets. But it does crazy damage. It's really good, and you pretty much secure yourself a free kill with it. MSG 90, really underrated. I'm gonna put that up a little bit. MSG 90, I didn't think it was good until I made my top 5 DMR video, and I know it's gotten a slight buff. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's gotten a slight buff since then. So it's a solid DMR. It's better. It's one of those guns where it's like, oh, it's made for long range, but if I build it for close range and use it for close range, it's actually better than the close range guns I can use. So like you can use this instead of like an SMG close range and low key. It cooks. It's really good. 355 RPM is nothing great, but the accuracy that it has, like hip fire accuracy, the recoil recovery, it allows you to use it close range, and it's crazy strong. The Beowulf TCR, similarly, very, very strong. I'm also going to put that in A tier. It's like the other Beowulf, except actually good. It's got 400 RPM, crazy damage. I believe it has 10 shots? 10 shots in the chamber? Yeah, or sorry, 10 shots and 1 in the chamber. So yeah, very solid, crazy good damage, crazy good range. If you can use it well, I mean, I've had like on 111 ammo, like I just absolutely, like my brain just melted there. On one clip, I've gotten 5 kills, easy. It does so much damage, and if you get a collateral, because it's got crazy penetration too, the penetration damage, 1 headshot close range kills. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember. I might have just rap cap to you, but I might just lie to you. But I don't think that happens. But yeah, it's overall very solid. SA58 SPR. Similarly, it's just all right. I'm gonna say middle B tier. It's so average. It's one of the faster DMRs, but it doesn't have like crazy damage or anything like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick it there. Scar SSR. If you're using this, what are you doing? What are you doing if you're using this gun? Scar SSR, I mean, yeah, sure, you can make it, you can build it to be something, but let's just use a sniper rifle. Like, God, please, just use a Dragunov at this point. It's just so meh. You know the auto from CSGO? This is that gun. So it's like, it's not good. First off, it's not good. It doesn't one-shot to the torso. It has 200 RPM. It's got good range, sure, and it comes with a long-range scope, but like, if you're gonna use something like this, use a Dragunov for, please. It's got faster fire rate. It's more precision. It's just better, and also the handling's horrific with it. So yeah, adding insult to injury, it's just not good. Oh, and then we're hit with a second not good gun, the MG3KWS. So some people love this gun. I loved it when it came out. It was so fun. But I've matured and realized it's not good. I'm going to put it bottom of C. The thing with this is it's got 1,000 RPM. So it's the fastest LMG pretty much. Or one of the fastest LMGs easily. However, it's only got 50 rounds and crazy recoil. It does like 2-shot to the torso. But when it's doing... like when it's shooting 1,000 RPM and it's only at 50 rounds and then like an 8.5 second reload, hard pass. I do not want this because you have to literally leave the firefight, and by the time you're finished reloading, you've already almost healed back to full health. No thanks, gonna pass. You're not gonna get high kill gains with it. It's just too slow to reload. You'd be better off playing gun game by picking up someone's gun every time you kill them. Alright, Colt SMG, very, very solid LMG. The rank 0, well, it says rank 0. I believe it's now changed to like rank 1 or something, but it's the starter LMG, and it's really, really good. Got good RPM, got good overall stats. What really makes it good are the conversions, so I can't put it in S tier, which I might have if I was considering the conversions. But it's overall a really, really solid gun. Do love it every now and then. M60, another C tier LMG. It's got the 100 round mag. It's got the crazy suppression, crazy penetration, but the fire rate, bad. Vertical recoil, bad. Recoil recovery, absolutely horrendous. It was good. Like if it was 2019, everybody would pull up with the M60 and just have an M60 fight on Metro and shoot through every wall. Don't even get me started on M60 Warehouse. M60 Warehouse was something different, man. But yeah, it's just not what it used to be, so I'm gonna have to pass on that one. The AUG H-bar, on the other hand, pretty solid. I'm gonna put it pretty high in the A tier. It's one of those LMGs where it's like, is it really an LMG? It's got 60 bullets and it acts like an AR. It's the best AUG. It's the best AUG. I'm gonna put it high A tier. I was entertaining the idea of putting it S tier, but there's better guns in the game. And AUG H-bar, while I love it, it's not the best. It's not the best LMG even. Like there's better LMGs. So next up we got the G36, the LMG. Ugh, no, another C tier. A lot of these LMGs are just really mid. You know what I mean? Like another 100 rounds, got good suppression, exactly what you'd expect from an LMG, but the recoil and movement is so bad. The G36 actually has better movement than the other ones, especially if you like do sawed off and whatnot, but it's still just horrific in some stats. So I'm gonna have to put it down there. RPK-12. Oh, I wanna put it S tier. I'm putting it S tier. It's so good. It's so unbelievably good. The ammo conversions, not allowed to talk about them, but they're amazing. Just gonna say that flat out. They are amazing. They're one of the best conversions in the game, or some of the best like ammo. Like you can make the gun better. You can make the gun really, really good. And for a time, the RPK-12 had a glitch where the ammo conversion would make it have negative recoil when it was supposed to have a ton of recoil, and that's when it was like the best gun in the game, hands down, for a long time. It's still really good. They nerfed that, and I still have a video on it somewhere on my channel. But it's really, really good. It's really powerful. Still really good. Okay, L86 LSW. I hate the L22 and L85 A2, but I do really like this gun. This gun's solid. It's again, the best guns in the game are like the LMGs that acts like ARs. Like they got the bullet performance of LMGs, but they have the mag, the reload speed, and the handling of an AR. Those are like the best guns in the game. So the L86 LSW is one of those guns. It's a really solid overall gun. It's got the weird vertical recoil, which I don't love, and it's got like unlimited range. Absolutely mind-boggling range. So definitely consider that. HK21, I hate this gun. Everybody hates this gun, but it's so good. So it's got like crazy good RPM and insane suppression, and it's just a joke to run. It's just a joke of a gun. You just run around warehouse shooting walls, and you'll get yourself 20 free kills that you didn't even know existed. So yeah, if we're being honest, it's an A tier, but like yuck. If you use that, boo, shame on you, boo. Scar Hammer, I used to put it in S, now I'm gonna put it high A, like very solid A. It's a very good gun, very, very, very good gun. So it's got this thing. This is a unique thing. It doesn't say it on here because these are like outdated from 2021. Ugh. But Scar Hammer's got this thing where when you shoot, the fire rate gets faster. So it starts at 600, 650 RPM or something like that. And when you shoot, as you shoot, the longer you shoot, the fire rate gets faster and faster. It's like heat. The heat from it makes it spin faster, something like that. It's like the Devotion LMG in Apex Legends. If you ever played that, it's a lot like that. So really good damage, and you can throw on a 30 mag, and oh my god, it's so good with a 30 mag. But yeah, I'm gonna stick it in A tier. It's really close to S tier with the TAR 21 and the Scar and the 74 HK. They're all really close to S tier, but they're not quite there yet. RPK 74, on the other hand, that's an easy S tier for me. The RPKs, I've been saying this all along, the RPK LMGs are just so powerful. They've got very little recoil compared to the other LMGs. They got better mobility. They got better damage than most of the LMGs. They got better penetration than most of the LMGs. Like, who let this happen? Like, it's actually insane. The mag size isn't quite up to the other LMGs. What a shock, their RPKs. They got AK size mags. But they are insane, and they both got 700 and 650 RPM. Like, that is insane. The fire rate is so high for something that does that much damage. And it's very controllable too. Like, the recoil on both of them, it's not good, but it's so manageable. The chainsaws next up, I'm gonna have to say no. It's a solid C tier. It's not bad. It's not great. It's definitely worse than like. It's definitely like it's pretty even with most of the LMGs, but it's not these LMGs kind of style. You know, it's probably the worst of the LMGs we've seen so far. There's one worse I'm thinking of that we'll get to soon, but it's not good. It's not that good, and it's ranked 226. Like, oh my god, please! I would not want to be caught dead buying that gun early. It's just not good enough to spend that much money on. The M1918A2, aka the Bar, very solid gun. But I think I'm gonna have to put a B tier because of the issue with the ammo. So it's got like, I think it's got 20 bullets, and it's an LMG. So it's got 500 RPM with strong recoil. Like, it's got strong camera recoil. Its recoil recovery is very good actually, and its range is amazing. But because of the whole issue with the ammo, the 20 bullets, and then the long reload speed, it's not ideal. There's just better in the game. All right, next up we got the MGV 176. I pre-bought this gun when it came out. I thought it was gonna be so good. The stats looked so good, and I used it and I was so disappointed. I'm gonna put that middle of B tier. It's got the highest RPM the highest fire rate of any LMG. It's got 1450. It's really, really powerful. But the issue is each bullet deals like 7.5 damage, so you're pretty much shooting airsoft pellets at the other person. Like, not even BB pellets. Like, I would say BB pellets for like, or like pea shooter for something that's like, you know, I don't know, like an average machine pistol. But this is literally shooting airsoft pellets. Like, you might as well be like spitting spitballs at them. But it does shoot it fast, and it does have 150 rounds. So yeah. And here's the big dog. The big dog, the Stoner 96. I love this. I'm literally in love with this gun. I might be Stoner 96 sexual. But like, easy high S tier. It's so good. It's so good. You guys don't understand how good this Stoner 96 is. Most people haven't ever tried it because it's rank 196. But pretty much you sit down. It doesn't have good mobility at all. So you're going to have to sit down. It's got 100 rounds. And it is a 4-shot all ranges with torso and head multipliers with solid fire rate, 550 fire rate, and it has like unlimited range. Great recoil. It's what the M60 used to be, except better. It's just good. You gotta use the sonar for yourself if you haven't tried it already. And then the MG 342 or whatever it's called. It's so bad. It's so bad. The chainsaw. Wait, sorry, that's that gun. It's like the it's got a nickname. I don't remember what it is, but it is genuinely horrific. The bone saw, I think it is, from World War II. Like, it's a sick gun, but in the game, it's actually horrific. It's everything that the MG3 KWS is, except worse. It's literally worse in every aspect, aside from RPM. RPM is the only thing that goes up. The recoil, way up. The time to kill, higher. It's just not good. So, can't recommend that. And at rank 242, it's a brutal unlock for such a meh gun. All right, moving on to the other guns. Now we're into the pistols. We're gonna see a lot lower guns, like lower rankings, because they're pistols. They're not supposed to be as good as ARs. If they were as good as the ARs, there would be something wrong. So Glock 18, very standard pistol. It's not great at anything. It's not bad at anything. Solid damage. 93R, it's gonna be a little bit better. 93R is definitely better in terms of a pistol. It's the 3-round burst one, but you can hyper burst it, so that allows it to be much better. Similarly, we're going straight into the other. I don't know. They're all good. They're all solid. Maybe I did this one wrong. Maybe I need to put the Glock 18 up here. It does have a switch. It does. So I guess it is better, because like the Glock 17's the really bad one. So like, it's not even really bad. These are all gonna be lower. Just expect the pistols to be lower. But the auto pistols are genuinely usable. Like, nah, I'm putting it back down. I'm putting it back down. I changed my mind. What am I talking about? It's the Glock 18. Put that back down there. Tech 9 though, solid C tier. With the same with the 93R. They're both solid C tiers. Micro Uzi. Now I might get some heat for this, but this gun is actually like genuinely good. These next couple guns you might not like my ratings for these. But the Micro Uzi, genuinely on par with the Honey Badger, if you ask me. Like, sure, it's got no range. You can't kill somebody from over 20 suds. Like, over 30 suds, no chance. But it is an instant delete from close range. Like, you are getting the kill 100% of the time with the Micro Uzi. It's really powerful. The Scorpion, it's powerful in a different way. So, do I want to put it B tier, though? The Scorpion's really strong, and I don't know if I feel comfortable putting it in B tier, though, because it has seen nerfs in the past years. I think I'm going to put it high C. But the Scorpion is definitely a solid pistol. It's pretty much a watered-down SMG. It shoots a little slower than some SMGs, but it still shoots fast in a lot of SMGs. It's just the damage isn't up to par. PP 2000, it just got a huge buff. It's the best machine pistol right now, easy. Because it's got range, it's got damage, it's got fire rate, it's got everything right now. It got a huge buff. The developers, like stylist staff, literally said in the changelog, it is similar to the AK-74 right now. And you see where the AK-74 is? Oh, I thought I put in a S tier for some reason. AK-74, A tier. So why wouldn't I put the alternate version of it in B tier? It would be insane if I put it in A tier, don't get me wrong. But B tier, I think that's a very, very reasonable place to put it. And MP 1911, it's again one of the better machine pistols, so I'm gonna put that at B tier too. Big clip, lots of damage, lots of fire rate, 1,000 fire rate. You can't want more than that, really. The arm pistol, ugh, it's definitely not the best. It used to be a lot better. It's just the iron sight's horrific. It's got the little blurb in game is like it's got the inner workings of an AK or something like that. So it has like the high damage, but the fire rate, it's only got 800 fire rate, which, I mean, it doesn't sound high, or it sounds high, but like compared to the other pistols, like 1,100, 1,500, it's not nearly up to the other ones. And that's the last machine pistol. Now we're on to the special secondaries. Serbu shotgun, genuinely so underrated. It can one-shot easily. Like, it's an easy one-shot sometimes. Like, sure, it's not always going to one-shot because it's a secondary. You can't expect it to be as good as like the Spaz 12. But it's very solid, and I'm going to comfortably put that at B tier. SFG 50, Ooh, do I want to get flamed or not? Do I want to put it in D or F tier? I bought it a long time ago thinking, oh, this gun's gonna be so good. I'm gonna put it at top of F tier. It's not good. I'm gonna say that straight up. It is absolutely, genuinely, 100% not good. Like, this thing hits like a truck, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it's the SMG 50. It's literally like BFG. Like, if you ask me, BFG is not even like a top 3 tier gun. It's like a C tier gun. And this is the pistol version in which the bullet is not accurate. The bullet goes random directions. Yeah, miss me with that one. Yeah, and everybody that shoots at me with the SMG is probably missing too. It doesn't even one shot past like 80 studs or something like that. So yeah, no thanks. Thumper, now I've made videos on the Thumper before, and I do love the Thumper, but base Thumper, it's worse than the Serbu. It's gonna be a C for me. It's a one-shot shotgun. It's a grenade launcher technically, but it's a one-shot shotgun pretty much, and it's just not as good as the sawed-off, which again, with the Serbu, I'm gonna put up in B tier. I'm gonna put the Serbu a little bit higher, Micro Uzi a little bit higher, but the secondary sawed-off is pretty much Stevens DB, but like, it's still one-shots. Like, you can use... First off, it's got the burst. It has the instant burst as an option. Do I ever use it? No, not really. But it's got it as an option, and if you turn it on, if you're less than 20 studs away, it's going to kill the guy, even if you miss him completely. Half the pellets are going to go into him. That's just how it is. Now, the Saiga 12U... I'm not ashamed. I'm putting this in A tier. Like, lowest part of A tier. Saiga 12U is a crazy good gun. It should not be allowed to be a secondary. Like, the Saiga is already an amazing gun in general, and it's no surprise that the secondary offspring platform is going to be a very, very great gun. Excuse me. Oh, been talking a long time. My throat's starting to get dry up. But the Saiga 12U got 350 RPM, semi-automatic. You can put conversions on it. Same with the Saiga. It's really good, really solid, especially for secondary. Probably one of the best secondaries in the game. The Obrez gonna be a solid D tier. It's not it. It's never been it. It's not ever gonna be it. Again, with the SFG. So, like, the Obrez, it has much faster fire rate because you don't have to reload it every time. It's just a bolt action. That's why it's slightly higher than the SFG. But it only one-shots to the head. It doesn't one-shot to the torso, I don't think. I don't think there's an ammo that does one-shot to the torso with the Obrez. But the inaccuracy, and because it's secondary, the barrel's short, so it makes sense that the bullet's not going to be completely accurate up to a certain distance. So I'm going to have to say no thanks on the Obrez. Next up, we got the MP5 SD. Very, very solid gun. I'm going to put that, it's one of the better MP5s, so I'm going to put MP5, platform, the MP5 platform. It's one of the better ones, so I'm going to put that upper A, or middle A tier. It's definitely a solid gun. So it's nothing special. It's just an integrated suppressor on an MP5 pretty much. The MP10, not ideal. It's slightly worse than the MP5 SD, so we're gonna put it in B tier, mid B tier. That sounds reasonable for me. It's not nearly as good, but next we'll see MP510 soon, and that's the one I like more. It's a combined variant of them both. OTS 126. It has received recent buffs, but it's still not quite amazing. So I'm gonna put it middle of the B tier. It's got slower fire rate but higher damage. There's two classes of PDWs pretty much: slow fire rate, high damage, or fast fire rate, low damage. And that's one of the slower ones with high damage. So I'm gonna put it there. Oh my God, we still have so many more to go. Woo! Okay. M3A1. Always hated this gun. The grease gun, I always hated it. I'm going to put it upper D because it has its uses. Again, really slow gun. Really slow fire rate, but crazy high damage. So yeah, definitely solid if you're into that. But, I mean, if you ask me, give me the UMP. I take the UMP 45 with that any day. Like, yeah. MP510, I'm going to put this above both them. I'm going to put this upper A tier. I love the MP510. It's pretty much just like combine the two, and then it gets the better stats from both of them. It's a very, very solid SMG. So, well, all the SMGs are in a really good place right now, except for the next one, which I'll talk about in a second. Oh, I hate that gun. But yeah, all the SMGs are in a good place right now. The PDWs, SMGs, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna put that up there. The Uzi, bleh. This gun is absolutely horrific. It's never been good, never gonna be good. I don't feel bad putting it F tier. It is so terrible if you ask me. Genuinely horrific. Next up, we got the AllGay 3 Para. This is going to be the first S tier PDW. I love the AllGay 3 Para. This is so good. So good. It's pretty much an AllGay 3 with like actually almost the same stats, except it's got a tiny bit less damage and a tiny bit less range, but in exchange, it's got better fire rate. If you're into 3 burst, it's got a good 3 burst. It's got 780 3 burst. So I don't think you can hyper burst on it, but you can. It's 780 RPM. Like, you shoot this thing fast, and it has amazing mobility. It's pretty much the AllGay 3, but like better for everything that's less than 100 studs. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of the AllGay 3 Para. Very, very fun gun. Next up, we got the K7. Ooh, I'm tempted to put it higher, but I'm going to put it high A tier. Again, another really, really strong PDW. You have to keep in mind, PDWs are in a really good spot right now. Like, there's a lot of OP PDWs right now. And K7's one of them. It's another Korean gun. It's based off, it's similar to the K2 and the K1A. It's the best of the 3. So of the 3 the Korean military guns, the K7's best. Definitely, for sure. But yeah, it's not quite an S tier, I don't think. So I'm going to stick it in A tier. Fast fire rate, amazing for clearing corners, stuff like that, but yeah. Now, AK-74 SU, aka the Krinkov is what it used to be called. High S tier. High S tier. Genuinely, it's so strong. We can reorganize this a little. It doesn't really matter. If it's an S tier, it's an S tier gun. Krinkov, amazing. It's so good. Everybody should use a Krinkov. I was just talking to a guy in a game that I was playing today. He was like, "Oh my god, I just bought the AK-74 SU because your video said, oh, this is one of the guns you should pre-buy. I absolutely love it." And he dropped like 75 that game. Like, dead serious. That gun is literally like a life changer. It's so good. So yeah, obviously, if you haven't seen my video already, I highly recommend buying the Krinkov as one of your, like, if you're gonna buy a gun early, buy the Krinkov. It's so amazing. It's got very, very light PDW handling with the literal power, damage, and faster fire rate than like all the AKs. So definitely check it out. The Papush, the PPSH-41, the funny Russian gun. I'm just gonna put it. It's gotten a lot of nerfs, man. It's gotten a lot of nerfs. I'm gonna put it at high C. It's been through the mud. It's had its glory days. They're past. They're gone. Long gone, dead. So the Papush is gonna be solid high C. Colt Mars. So hold on, I have to remember which one. The Colt Mars is not the Colt SMG 663. So I can't put it as, the Colt Mars is in a good spot right now. So I'm gonna put it low A tier, but it's not completely amazing. All right, it's very good. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just gonna have to put it A tier, like lower A tier though. It's definitely not groundbreaking, but it's a very solid gun, solid overall. But the recoil is a little feisty. It's not great. BWC 9A. I have no shame putting it F. I have like 800 kills on this gun. I have every attachment unlocked. I bought them all. I only have it because of the mobility. So pretty much the BWC 9A. It's the fastest gun you can have. So you can run the fastest, like your walk speed and pull-up time and ADS, like your aiming speed. They're all the fastest with BWC 9A because you can get this like decreased barrel, even though there's no barrel, you can't even see it in the picture, decreased stock. And you can literally run around faster than most melees. So yeah, that's why people use it. Don't use it. It's not good. It does no damage, has a tiny clip as expected. Look at it, it's tiny. Yeah, no. The Falpera PDW version, I'm gonna put upper C behind the Papush. It's not great. I don't love the Falpera shorty thing. I don't know. It's weird. It's got a lot of recoil. The gun doesn't look right, so you know it's gonna fire weird. It's got a ton of damage though. It's a FAL. All the FALs have crazy damage, but still, I'm gonna have to hard pass on the Falpera. The MP5K, oh my god, everybody loves this gun. You know this gun's good. It's so good. You can use burst gripping on it, amazing. You can use automatic on it, amazing. It's so good. It, like 3 shots to the torso. I don't know if they fixed that yet. They might have fixed that, but it's still amazing. All the SMGs are just so good. MP5K is no exception. It was one of the best guns for last like 4 months. I don't know if they changed in the 4th of July update, but it's still very, 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 very good, even if they did, because I've been using it here and there. Next up, we got the Chris Vector. It's kind of washed. They got rid of a lot of the abilities. I'm gonna put it bottom of the A tier, but not below Saiga. But bottom of the A tier because it's not what it used to be. It just got nerfed again. It just keeps getting nerfed with the ammo conversions, with the SIG conversion, with the long rifle's actually not that good anymore. So it's more SIG conversion. But with the SIG conversion and the fast reload speed, it's insane. But just base Chris Vector, it's not what it used to be. Still got crazy fire rate, still got good damage, still got great headshot damage, but it's not it. The PP Bison, it's never gonna be that good. It's never been good. It's not gonna be good. Nothing's gonna change. We're gonna put it at D tier. Solid fire rate, solid recoil, but the damage is awful. And the mag's the only redeeming quality. The 64 and 52 size mags, depending on whichever ammo you want to use, both solid. All right, similar to the grease gun, the MP40 has very similar stats, except instead of putting it in the D tier, I'm going to put it at the bottom of the C tier. It's slightly better. It's got faster fire rate by like 100. It's actually like a lot more fire rate. And I think it does very similar damage. So it's the same amount of shots, but it's just faster fire rate. And the recoil is very similar too, so yeah. X95 SMG, it's very similar to the TAR. It's a very solid, most PDWs are going to be really good. Like a lot of the PDWs are going to be very high up on the tier list. They're just in a good spot right now. So another very standard 750, I believe it has a torso multiplier and a head multiplier, and the head one's better than average head. So yeah, check that one out. Tommy gun, high B tier. Really good, got a ton of damage, got a ton of fire rate. You can put a 50 round drum on it. You can do the Thompson conversion, the 1918 conversion or whatever it's called. Crazy fire rate, makes it the fastest gun in the game pretty much. Yeah, really good. Now the Rama 1130 or 1130 if you're weird, 1130, easy A tier. It's so strong. It's got 64 bullets. It's a tiny pistol. It's not a pistol, it's a PDW, but it looks like a pistol, right? And you can run around the map with, it can barely hold any ammo, but pretty much Rama and pretty much any ammo, rubber bullets, defaults, it's all amazing. So you can run around the map and just hip fire. Just pull it up from your hip and hip fire, and you'll kill so many people because the fire rate and the damage combined are crazy with a 64 round mag on a PDW that does good damage. So it's not like a PP Bison, like it doesn't do any damage. It actually does good damage with crazy good recoil recovery. Next up, the UMP45 would have been an S tier. However, they took away its 2-shot capability, which is why it was, good in the first place. So now it's just gonna be, I'm gonna have to put it high B tier. I love the UMP45, but it's not, it's not in the limelight anymore, unfortunately. It was for a while, but now it's not. It's just mid now again. The G36C, probably the best of the G36s. I don't remember where I put the other ones. It should be a little bit higher than the other ones though. So I'm probably gonna put it top of B tier. It's definitely not bad. Like, it's not bad, but there's just better. Like, it's a low rank gun. It's better than the G36K and the G36 because it's got similar stats with very good fire rate, 750 fire rate. Oh, that's actually the same as G36. Blah blah blah. They're all the same fire rate. But what really sets it apart is the mobility, because you got a lot more mobility with very similar stats. You might as well take the mobility if they're all gonna be the same anyways. MP7, easy A tier, high A tier. I'm entertaining the idea of putting it in S, but I'm gonna keep it in 7 or keep it in 7. What? Keep it in A tier for now. I do love the MP7 as much as the next guy, but hard pass on S tier. So it's really good. Definitely top the A tier for sure. It's one of the best SMGs easily, but I'm gonna have to put it top A tier, not S tier. 5.0, this one's a toughie. This one's a real tough one. So it's got everything you want, really. I'm gonna put it S. I'm gonna put it S. It's so good. If you can use binary or the double burst, it is so amazingly strong. Like if you know how to time it, you're gonna kill people in 2 shots. Like, it is so powerful. You guys need to try this. It's rank 155, which is the issue because not many people are, rank 155. That's kind of brutal to get to. But definitely consider checking it out. I love that gun so much. I just made a video on that one too. So pretty much if I made a video on it, it's a good gun. With the exception of the Zip and the BWC 9A. Those two are the only guns I made a video on that were like, oh, wait, they're actually terrible. Mac 10, very similar. I'm going to put that at top of A tier. It's not that high. It's not nearly as good as the MP7 and the MP5K, but it is really good. The Mac 10's got one of the fastest time to kills because of the crazy good fire rate. It's got high damage. You would not expect it. So how the Mac 10's a little bit different. It starts out, its max damage is like 10 meters or 10 studs out, and then it gradually decreases over time, as opposed to most guns, it's like 50 studs and it does a sharp decrease or something like that. Mac 10 is gradual over time, the entire time decrease. It's just a box of bullets, man. Definitely solid gun though, A tier. P90, I'm sorry, please forgive me, P90. You're a D tier now, you're a D tier. It got nerfed so bad in the most recent update. It's genuinely just terrible. It's just terrible. Like, I'm not even putting it high D tier. It is low D tier. It is so bad. I'm considering putting it in F. I'm not going to. That would be too harsh. I'm not going to do my boy P90 like that. But I'm going to put it in D tier, which says more than enough. MP5, arguably the best MP5. It's probably better than MP510. So I'm just going to put it right behind MP5K. Because MP5K is probably the best overall. Because it's compact and has better mobility than anything else. But it's just so satisfying. It's got the MP5 slap. You do the slap animation. Who doesn't love that? I mean, come on. But yeah, MP5, gonna say solid A tier. It's really good. It got good damage, got good fire rate, got good reload, got good everything. And the recoil recovery is good. It's just good. Colt SMG 633, easy S tier, high S tier too. This thing is nuts with the new update. They pretty much reworked it. It's got more damage. It's got better everything. Like, genuinely. And with hollow point, you can now 3 shot to the limb. It's crazy good. Definitely check out the Colt SMG. It's only rank 49. Go start getting some kills on it so you can unlock hollow point because it is nutty. Absolutely nutty. L2A3, we're going to put, my personal bias is saying S tier. But my brain's telling me I don't want to get flamed in the comments, so I'm going to have to put it high A tier. It's no S tier, but it's a high A tier. So it's pretty much this is the best gun in the game for hipfire. You can laser anybody. Like, I literally have a hipfire build on my channel about the L2A3 where it's like the 3rd fastest gun you can have in the game. Plus you can hipfire from literally across suburbia, rooftop to rooftop, laser them with hipfire. It is actually nuts. But the actual stats aren't that amazing. But the things you can do with it are crazy. So I'm going to put it up there. Okay, now we're moving on to the standard pistols, which is where we're going to see some C's, D's, F's. Okay, Makarov. Makarov is average pistol, super average pistol. We're going to put it at D tier. Nothing much to say about it. GB22, just because of the one-shotting capabilities, we're going to put it upper C tier. The GB OP, the OP22, I've heard it all because if you can put shotgun shots on it. But we're not talking about because like if we're talking about like the conversions, it'd be a solid B, like high B tier. But just base GB22, I'm thinking solid C. Desert Eagle XIX, I mean, come on, it's the Deagle. It's the Deagle, man. It's an A tier. We know the Deagle, and the XIX is the best one. So I'm gonna say A tier because of that crazy damage, crazy range, and it makes just such a satisfying sound and reload. My dog is barking, bro. What's she doing? Come on, pupper. Come on. All right, we're gonna pretend like my dog ain't barking right now. All right, Gyrojet Mark 1. Yes, this is Mark 1, not Mark 2. I was contemplating that earlier in the video. It's probably a little less than the GB22 because I love the GB22, but it's better than Gyrojet. Wait, but then again, the Gyrojet can one-shot, and it has 7 shots. Okay, I convinced myself out of it. I'm putting Gyrojet above the GB22, but not above the Scorpion. That doesn't seem fair. That sounds fair. Middle C tier, upper middle C tier, sounds good to me. M9, come on, man. G17, no. These two are both just very standard. They're both the starting guns. They're the starting pistols. They're horrific. They're genuinely terrible. Low damage, low. Actually, I think the Glock's got good fire rate. Oh, they both have the same fire rate. Low damage, but relatively high fire rate. But I mean, it's a pistol. The recoil is not gonna be much. Their semi-automatic is the first issue. Low damage, no range, and the M9 especially smaller clip than the G17. So yeah, hard pass. M1911 is one of the best pistols, but even the best pistol is going to land itself in C tier. It's just like, if you had to pick between an M60 or an M1911, sure, M60 is a worse LMG and M1911 is one of the better pistols, but I'm still going to take the M60 every day. Like in a gauntlet, and I had to fight 5 people, we're taking an M60. Desert Eagle L5, we're going to put it slightly above the M1911 just because it's a deagle. It can 2-shot. Can 1-shot to the head up to a certain amount of studs away. Yeah. Ivshek PB. So pretty much the Makarov, but with suppressor. It's the exact same thing, man. I'm so serious. They feel so similar, except the Makarov has more fire rate and the Ivshek has more range because of the suppressor. Blah 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 blah. It's integrated. I don't even think you can take it off. But I do love the all aim on the Ivshek. I'm definitely butchering that word so bad. But I'm going to put it D tier again. It's just not great. The M2011, it's a solid pistol. It's one of those racing pistol kind of things where you can shoot super fast, it's semi-automatic, and it does good damage, but it's still just a pistol at the end of the day. AF2011A1 is the only pistol I'm going to put in B tier, I think. Like, semi-automatic pistol, I mean. Other than Deagle. Deagle's different. Deagle, actually, I might get flamed for this. I'm gonna be so honest. I might get like roasted alive for this. But the AF 2011 and the Deagle XIX. So in my top 5 pistols, I said AF 2011 was the best pistol in the game. Now, do I still think that? Not really. And has the Deagle been nerfed since then? Yeah, so maybe it is the best. I don't know. The issue is it shoots 2 bullets every time you shoot, and you can shoot it fast. So if you're close range, it's completely lethal. So I'm going to put it up there. Alien, another standard, higher, C tier, blah, blah, blah. But it's a rank 179 unlock, so most people never even get to use the Alien in their Phantom Force career, because who is buying a pistol early? Like, come on, let's be real. This is actually a reasonable pistol buy early. The Grizzly, again, we're gonna put it top B tier. It's not quite the other two, but the Grizzly's strong. I do love myself a Grizzly. It's super satisfying to kill with, and some people love the GIM1. I don't love it. It's got good damage, but the fire rate's less than expected. I would take the M1911 over it, but I understand where people are coming from. I would rather the hardballer than the GIM1, which a lot of people don't agree with, which I'm kind of surprised by. M17, super standard stuff. We're gonna put that top of F tier. It's just your standard pistol. Rank 13 unlock. You know the deal. The GSP, you can heavily customize it, but we're talking about base guns, so it's just a D. Just a D tier, nothing special. Hardballer, I do love myself the hardballer, but I'm gonna put it middle C tier. It's better than the Alien. It's better than the M1911. It's better than the GIM1, but it's not quite the Desert Eagle or anything like that. M45A1, I think it is. M45A1? Yeah, I think so. We're gonna put you. It's not as good as the M1911, so that means I'm gonna have to put it at top D tier. This makes sense because I would take it over the Bison and the M3A1, but I would take the MP40 over it. That sounds about right. So that sounds like it seems like a good place to put it. KG99. It's pretty much just a worse Tech 9 in every single way possible. It's got really fast semi-automatic, but you have to spam it, so it's like meh. I'm gonna put it lower D tier. It's got really good damage. It's got really good fire rate, and it's got really good recoil, but the irons are terrible, and the gun looks weird, and it's not fully automatic. And did I mention the irons are weird? I mentioned the irons are weird. And it's not fully automatic, so I'm gonna have to put it in D tier. 5.7, I love the 5.7. It's super slept on. People gotta use this more. It's got like 20 bullets, good damage, good fire rate. It's semi-automatic, unfortunately. Most of the standard pistols are, but yeah, it's still really good. We're not gonna talk about that one. Zip 22 stays down there. Go down there, stay down there. We don't talk about you. Everyone knows what the Zip 22 is. MP412 Rex. We're gonna put you. The revolvers are in general better than the pistols. I'm gonna put the Rex up in B tier because I can genuinely use the Rex and get like high frags in a game. Like I've been doing that all week. I was recording for the MP412 Cowboy pistol video, and I was using it the whole time, and I was literally getting first place on leaderboards. Like, you can definitely frag out with a Rex, so I'm gonna put it in B tier. Like, I mean, yeah, I would take it over the G36K. Yeah, sure. And the Mataba, it used to be better. It got nerfed here and there. It still has a really fast fire rate for a revolver, but it just doesn't have the damage that the other ones have, and it doesn't have the range at all. So I'm gonna put it a little lower. New Army up here. I'm gonna say, because of the fan firing, only because of the fan firing, I'm gonna put you above the Rex. Yeah, I'm gonna put you above the Rex because of the fan firing. Plus, you can have snake shot. I'm gonna put you above the Rex. All right, Red Hawk 44. I used to love this gun. It's so satisfying to use. It's the standard American pistol, Red Hawk 44, dual kind of issue, but it's just not as good as you would think. Like, looking at it, it looks sick, and then it's just like the worst of them, low-key. You can't fan fire it. You can't, it's good for range, but that's pretty much it. You can't one-shot to the body. It's got 400 fire rate. You're better off with other pistols. The Judge is the shotgun pistol. It's weird. It's really weird, but it is good. So I'm going to say the shotgun pistol goes up to B tier because you can definitely use the Judge and frag out. But more than the Judge, the Executioner is where it's at. I'm going to put the Executioner higher than the AF 2011 and the Desert Eagle because of the insane power it has. It can do crazy damage. I think in one shot to the torso, up to like 40 studs or something like that. It does crazy damage. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong on that one again. Keep in mind, I'm doing all this off the dome. Like, this is all off the dome. Like, I'm going to have some factually incorrect evidence here and there. And I'm going to ask you politely to please deal with it and accept it and don't fact check me. But for the most part, I should be correct on most of these things. KSG 12, always not been my favorite shotgun. I'm going to put that lower C tier, which is low for a shotgun. Shotguns, expect a lot of shotguns to be up in the A tiers. Yeah, Remington 870, I like it a lot more than KSG. It's definitely not my favorite shotgun though, so I'm going to put it top B tier, just because it's really solid. I do love the Remington. But, DBV. Let's put it all the way at the top A tier. I lied. We're putting it S tier. DBV is so good. It's so good. Unlike the KS23M, so the DBV's got like, it's got fast fire rate for a semi-automatic. It's got good spread. It's got a huge mag. The KS23M has terrible reload, horrible mag, horrible fire rate, and good range is all it's got. And I don't want to use a shotgun for range typically, so I'm going to put it at D tier. Saiga 12, another S tier. Another S tier. Easy S tier, honestly. Like, genuinely easy S tier. Saiga 12 is nuts. I'm just going to say it straight up. It's one of the best shotguns easily. There's one more shotgun I'm going to put in S tier, but it's up there. Stevens DB, you can do the funny thing where you shoot both of them at once, the burst fire. I'm gonna throw that middle to A tier. Very solid gun, but it's not the best double barrel. AA12, as much as I'm gonna hate doing this, it's an A tier. It's lower A tier, but it's an A tier because of the full auto. Plus, you can throw on a 20 drum plus or rubber bullets. The default ammo is not great. It's a lower A tier, but like if you're including the other ammo conversions, easily upper A, maybe S tier if you're really lucky. Spaz 12. Here's the last one that's gonna go in S tier. I love my baby, the Spaz 12. It's so good, dude. Good, great fire rate. Not the pump action. Don't use pump action version. Pump action's horrible. Good fire rate. Got a satisfying sound. Shoots far. Shoots wide. It's got good choke. I just said two completely different things. But it shoots wider than it's choked. But it does shoot far because it's got good bullet drop-off range. So that's why it can be good for ranges, even though it's not really meant for it. Next up, we got the DT11 Pro. It's better than the Stevens. And I don't remember. I think I put the Stevens. Yeah, I see Stevens. Middle of A tier. So I'm gonna put it upper middle A tier. So DT11 is definitely solid. Don't get me wrong, but not my favorite shotgun. Yeah, that seems right because it's slightly better than the Stevens just because of the damage and general statistics. Better handling. I think it's better. I think it's faster reload too. Yeah. E-gun. I know there's religious E-gun followers in the chat, but like, come on, man. The E-gun's so bad. It's so bad. Sure, you can put heavy discs and burst mode on it, and it's amazing. No, it's not. It's still not good. Yeah, you're gonna see me never using the E-gun. Thanks. It's not a shotgun. It's a fake shotgun. It's a fraud. It wants to be good, but his mother doesn't love him, and the E-gun has turned out to be a complete failure, like the Zip 22. USAS 12. Hold on, let me grab this guy. USAS 12 is gonna go upper A easily. The reason I'm not gonna put it in S tier is because the USAS 12, USAS, I don't know if you're supposed to say USAS or USAS, but I've always said USAS, so I'm gonna stick with USAS. I think it's Korean or something. It doesn't have enough ammo. It burns through the ammo so fast because it's got 450 fire rate. So I always run out of ammo so quickly. Sure, you can get a free 1-2 kills, but then you're completely caught with your pants down. The reload takes a while. I don't love it. It's not my favorite. All right, the K14 up next. Let's put you. The K14's a fun one. I love the K14. I'm gonna say it's a lower A tier. It's not great. It's more personal favorite of mine than anything. K14, we're gonna put you there. Yeah, there's a lot better sniper rifles like the Hecate. Hecate's easy S tier, one shot to the body, most ranges. It's got really good fire rate. The M107's actually got faster fire rate, but it's been nerfed recently. The recoil is so bad on it. Hecate is pretty much the best unanimous one-shot sniper. So yeah, Hecate in S tier, pretty easy choice there. M107, it's been nerfed, so I'm gonna put it middle A tier, but yeah, similar to the Hecate, it fires faster, except it fires faster, and I think it has a smaller mag, except it doesn't have as much range, and the recoil is terrible. So yeah, I'm gonna say no to that one. Plus, it's got one of those sweet spot kind of styles, so no thanks. Sire Scout, top of the A tier. Sire Scout is amazing, but it's got such a high ceiling and high floor, so you gotta be good to use the Sire Scout effectively. I just made top 5 hardest guns to use. Sire Scout's on it. Sire Scout's number 2. Spoiler alert, I just spoiled that whole video for you. Sire Scout's number 2, Mosin's number 1. Sire Scout and Mosin, people have been saying, oh, I think Sire Scout's harder to use. Yeah, but it shoots faster. See, it's more forgiving. The Mosin's like, oh, you shoot way slower. WA2K, another solid A tier, high A tier. I'm a huge fan of WA2K, maybe because of Girls Frontline, but still, I do love the 2K. It's great. It's got fast RPM. I think it just got, did it get buffed or nerfed? It got one of the two, but I haven't used it since. So I'm going off the last update when it was still very solid. I do love it. Solid A tier. Intervention, S tier. It's probably the best. It's the best starting sniper, obviously. Best low rank sniper. One shots to the body up to like 140 studs, which is crazy. It's slow, I understand, but the CQB conversion, amazing. But we're talking about the base conversion. Base version, base standard intervention, solid stuff. Love that thing. It can one shot to the torso and anywhere from head, one shot to the torso from like 140 studs. And then it has slow fall off because it's got such high bullet velocity too. So yeah, Remington 700, the other starter gun, I don't love it. I'm gonna put it C. I haven't really found a good way to make it work. I've tried a million things. I've tried the conversions, but base gun, it's just not good. It's definitely one of the worst snipers in my opinion. The first of the Dragunovs, Dragunov SVU, easy A tier. It's the better of the two Dragunovs. Another Russian gun with high fire rate for a semi-automatic, and it's 2 shots to kill. So you can shoot from across the map. Usually by the time you get your second shot off, they still haven't gotten to cover, so it's really good. If you can aim, you're probably going to get 3 shots before they realize where you're shooting from. It's really good. Like, I use it suppress usually and just like keep moving around, hope they don't find me. And you can get tons of free kills like that. So yeah, I do that a lot. I have a couple thousand on that gun. AWS is definitely a strange one. It's had its ups and downs. I think it uses sweet spots now, but it's still a good gun. I'm gonna put it B tier. It's solid. It's not amazing, but it's solid. AWS got good damage, got good everything, but not quite the others that we're listing right now. BFG 50. Okay, so that was weird. It disappeared on my mouse, but I'm gonna put that C. The BFG is top of the C tier. It's the iconic one shot, one kill, but it's got 16 RPM and you only get one bullet before you have to reload. And the reload is painful, and you're better off using the Hecate, the M107. Pretty much the TRG, literally intervention, you're better off try to hit the one shots or the headshots with the other snipers. Because you can get, like, average sniper shots, like, you can get 3 off before you get 1 BFG shot off. Like, I don't know. I don't know about the BFG. It's so slow, and I know a lot of people love it, but a lot of people hate it too. It's like, oh, the joke is, oh, a rank 30 with a BFG, he pre-bought it? Not in my lobby, vote kick, slash vote kick, player for BFG, stinky, poo-poo, blah, blah, blah. Oh, God. Oh, it's hot. Summer sucks. Okay, next up, we got the AWM. The AWP conversion's amazing, but I'm going to just stick the AWM middle of the A tier. It can one-shot to the head at all ranges. It's got good bullet velocity, good recoil, good sway, good fire rate, bolt action. I love the AWM. It's very solid overall, but I don't love it nearly as much as I love the TRG, which is going to be the other sniper I'm going to put at S tier, just because of the one-shot capabilities. It's not nearly as fast as the intervention, but it's got more range, it's got more stability, it's got better movement. So these two are like toss-up between which is the best bolt action that doesn't one-shot always. It's between these two. Hecate, yeah, obviously it's really good. Okay, next up we got the NTW. I'm going to put it top B tier, like another one-shot. It's the like Brazilian anti-tank, anti-material rifle. It does a ton of damage. You can one-shot through like 42 studs of walls or something. The penetration's insane. And it's got 4 shots in the mag, but you have to be crouching or mantling or... Sorry, not mantling. You have to be crouching, prone, or on a wall or something to use it. So it's a little finicky like that. A lot of people run like a close range build, which is really strange. I've never really found why, but yeah. All right, next up we got the Mosin Nagant. Yeah. That's gonna be the last S tier of this list. Mosin Nagant is insane. I absolutely love that gun. I said it's the hardest gun to use. I don't really take it back, to be honest. You got 70 RPM, so it's slower than 85, and you have to hit headshot. I know you can make it one shot to the body with conversions, but we're talking base Mosin. You gotta hit the headshots. It's got fast fire rate. It's got great mobility. Take advantage of it. You gotta use your movement. You gotta use your aiming skills. It's everything. It's a culmination of everything you need to be good in Phantom Forces, and it's all putting it to the test with this gun. If you're good with it, you're set. You're gonna get kills. You're gonna frag out. You're gonna get 60 kills a game. Mosin Nagant is crazy like that. It's just so good. And finally, thank God we're almost done. My throat is killing me. The Dragunov SVDS. Here we go. What a disappointing gun to leave it off on. I hate the SVDS. It's so bad. It's slow. It's like the other Dragunov, but like worse. It's still 2 shot to the body, still 1 shot to the head, but it's significantly slower, clunkier, heavier, worse mobility, worse recoil. Yeah, no thanks. The recoil recovery is so much slower because it's a huge gun. Yeah, no. I'm gonna have to hard pass. And with that, that's the whole tier list. That's everything we got. Here we are. Here's the tier list. I'm gonna upload this to my Discord in case anybody wants to see it. So if you're not in the Discord, join the CreeperMinion Discord. It's gonna be linked in the description below. All Phantom Forces guns. Isn't that creative? By yours truly, CreeperMinion. Oh, sorry. I have to do one word. All right. Nice. We're good. That's everything, guys. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, I know it was a long one, so if you actually made it this far in, good job. I'm impressed. I love you. Good work. Well, I hope if you're this far in, hopefully you're subscribed. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe. Check out my channel. I post a bunch of Roblox content, trying to branch out into more general content soon. We'll see how that goes. and we're gonna have a lot of giveaways to give back to the community coming up. So we already did one giveaway. I got 3 more lined up for the rest of the summer. So if you want to be a part of those, make sure to join up on my Discord. Link in the description down below. Make sure to drop a like on this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.